Thanks for joining us. And today we're going to talk about Kriya Yoga and Yogananda's Delusion. Think ye in thy heart, lotus feet of thy Guru, if you want to cross the ocean of delusion, shaming the white lotus in purity, beyond all duality. Guru, image of Brahma, deliver us from delusion. So this is a beautiful chant from Yogananda, who was a guru in Kriya Yoga, and he started the Self-Realization Fellowship Yoga Satsang Society. And in this chant, it talks about crossing the ocean of delusion with the help of one's guru, one's spiritual teacher. So many have interpreted this to mean that one moves away from the worldly life towards the spiritual life with the help of the guru. And passages such as the following help support this view. We are part of thy changeless being. O Spirit, we toss and dance on the waves of thy creation. Make us realize thy presence beneath the waves of illusion. May we dissolve this dream of delusion and behold thee, the only reality. So in this prayer, Yogananda is really talking about delusion in terms of the delusion of dualism, the apparent separation between the individual self and spirit. But many have interpreted this to mean that the world itself is an illusion, and that only spirit or God is real, and that one then needs to wake up from the false dream of manifestation into the reality of spirit. This viewpoint itself is dualistic, and it really posits that there's a separation between the manifest reality and spirit. And this viewpoint is really rooted in early Brahmanism, which posits that there is a transcendental absolute that exists independent from creation, and this is termed Brahman. And in this view, Brahman is independent from creation, unchanging, absolute, and has no Shakti, has no power. And according to this view, creation arises from the absolute through the power of Maya, the ability to make the absolute appear as the manifold. And some have taken this idea of Maya, the ability to take unity and create plurality, a step further to link it with Judeo-Christian concepts. Satan, the unconscious force of delusion, which makes the infinite look finite, which the Hindus call Maya, received independence to go on constantly transforming the infinite into the finite. The Satanic force was unable, however, to keep in finite forms the creatures God had created. Satan then tried to perpetuate the various species by the law of sex propagation. Defect and misery arose from this. All things and creatures began to suffer. Animate and inanimate creatures, instead of realizing themselves to be living waves of the cosmic sea of life, unchangeable and essentially immortal, were made to believe by the cosmic law of satanic delusion that they were isolated, separated from the cosmic dream of life, having origin and decay. Individual souls were further deluded into feeling attached to their passing states of existence. Such attachment is born of ignorance, the evil which is the real cause of all suffering. Hence, suffering born of ignorant attachment is also an evil. And here Yogananda is conflating the Hindu concept of Maya with the Judeo-Christian concept of Satan. He continues, finite beings, instead of observing with the all-seeing eyes of the infinite the superficial and formal changes they undergo, began to behold these transitional states through the deceiving eyes of cosmic delusion or Satan. If all finite things acted in tune with the infinite, they would not experience fear, disease, or death in the ordinary mortal way, but only as illusions being suggested to them, as during a hypnotic trance. So it is that persons under the hypnotic spell of Satan or delusion do not know that all evil, disease, inharmony, wars are merely illusions created by cosmic delusion and misleading imagination born of that delusion. This personification of Maya as an evil force in battle with God is not part of the Hindu concept of Maya, and seems to be Yogananda's adoption of fundamentalist Christian beliefs held by such groups as LDS, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Yogananda may have been trying to convince a predominantly Christian population in the United States when he was teaching of this spurious connection between Hinduism and Christianity, and then attempting to portray Kriya Yoga as the means of salvation and freedom from the influence of Satan. Despite Yogananda's mischaracterization, Maya is not a personalized evil force in Hinduism, but instead is considered an aspect of the divine's power to manifest multiplicity. In Advaita Vedanta, Maya is the power that makes the phenomenal world appear as real. And on the individual level, it is the ignorance or avidya of one's true nature, the nature of the Atman or soul, and its unification with Brahman, the Absolute. In the Vedas, Maya is considered as the power of illusion and creation. In the Upanishads, Maya is the apparent reality that does not reveal its true nature. None of these Hindu perspectives consider Maya as a separate evil force that is in battle with God. So many who hold the view of life as a delusion, they end up denying their everyday experience. And this negation of reality and distortion of view leads to confusion and unhappiness. And often, the spiritual seeker is not able to come to terms with what is happening in the everyday present reality. And they're trying to escape to a better place. And this is troubling because this has a tinge of millennial cult mentality. And really, this is a misunderstanding of spirituality. It is true that one may follow a path to have transcendent experiences. For example, as one is moving through meditation and having deeper levels of realization, and then having a realization of the Absolute, of the divine. But this does in no way negate the fact that the Absolute is immanent within creation. And if one wakes up to that possibility, one can start to realize that discarding the world with this false view that it is a delusion is incorrect. Instead, what one wants to do is to recognize the immanence of the Absolute in creation, and to see that that Absolute is the same as one's essence nature. A modern rendering of a non-dual perspective on the Absolute and manifestation is the following. All that exists throughout all time and beyond is one infinite divine consciousness, free and blissful, which projects within the field of its awareness a vast multiplicity of apparently differentiated subjects and objects, each object an actualization of a timeless potentiality inherent in the light of consciousness, and each subject the same plus a contracted locus of self-awareness. This creation, a divine play, is the result of the natural impulse within consciousness to express the totality of its self-knowledge in action, an impulse arising from love. And so the rejection of the world as delusion negates the recognition of the Absolute as immanent in creation and immanent within oneself. For awakening or realization, we are not trying to run away from a world of delusion. What we're trying to do is to wake up from the apparent dream of the separate self, to realize the unity between us and our true nature, and to embody that realization in one's everyday existence. So if you have any questions about this video, feel free to send me an email at info@modernkriya.com. Also check our website at modernkriya.com and our YouTube channel. So thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time.